Apologies if I sound stuffy before reading this. I'm probably gonna lose it again in this chapter, but here we go. Thank you again very much for listening. John wrapped up Molly in his jacket and laid her in the back seat of the pickup Tennant had driven out to the spot. A crowd was forming, and vehicles were now lined up bumper to bumper down the highway, an echo of the scene from the day of the outbreak. We were heading the other direction, though, back into town. In the distance, the column of smoke from the asylum inferno drifted into the sky. We passed one house where a guy was unloading suitcases from his trunk and glancing around in confusion, like he had just come back from a 2-week vacation and was wondering what the fuck happened while he was gone. We drove to my house, or the charred remnants of my house, anyway. Amy was pretty upset at the sight of it, but John pointed out that we had in fact burned the place down ourselves. I was exhausted to down to my bones, but there was this last piece of business to take care of, and no way to put it off. I grabbed the shovel and lay in my yard, and John and I took turns digging a grave for Molly. Rain pelted our shoulders. The temperature dropped into the 40s, but Amy stood out in it the whole time, watching us, shivering. I lay Molly on the ground, and John volunteered to say the eulogy. This here is Molly. She was a good dog, and when I say good dog, I don't mean it in the way other people mean it. When they're talking about a dog that never shit on the floor or bit their kids. No, I'm talking about a dog that's died saving Amy's life. By the rough count, that's half a dozen times Molly saved one of our lives. How many dogs can say that? Hell, how many people can say that? One time, Dave was in a burning building, and Molly here rescued him by getting behind the wheel of his car and driving through the wall. You know, that couldn't have been easy for her. Anyhow, Molly died in the way that all really good things die. Fast and brutal, and for no apparent reason. They say that even though it often appears that God just really doesn't give a shit about what happens down here, that's just an illusion, and he really does care after all, and it's all part of his great plan to make it appear that he doesn't care, though what purpose that serves I can't possibly imagine. I think God probably would just wanted Molly for himself, and I guess I can't blame him. Well, God, here's your dog back, I guess. We hereby commit Molly to doggy heaven, which is probably nicer than regular heaven if you think about it. Amen. Amy and I said amen. I noticed she was crying again, and I felt utterly helpless to stop it. She buried her face in my chest, and I stroked her tangled, wet mess of red hair. I said, "Let's find a roof." She said, "Let's find a bed." We walked away from the ruins of my former house, and John said, "Wait, what if Tennant arranged all this as some elaborate form of therapy?"